Hello everyone and welcome to the Multimedia Sherpa channel. I'm Paul Spencer and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about keyframes in Flash and in animation in general. So what you want to do is you want to open up a Flash file. In this case it's an ActionScript 2 file in CS5, but it doesn't really matter what version or version of ActionScript that you're using. The important thing with Flash and with other programs when using keyframes will be the stage that you're drawing it on and the timeline that you're using. Now in the timeline here you can see frame 1, there's a frame with a little dot in it, and that signifies that it's a keyframe. If it's a blank frame like so, you can see that only one has a dot in, that's the keyframe, the rest are just normal frames that are filler. They're no good to us at the moment. So what we need are the frames with the dots in the middle. And what we're going to animate today is a stick man waving his arm. So he'll literally be doing that. Very simple, very crude, but it will give you the idea of how to use keyframes, and then you can move on from there and do bigger and better things yourselves. So what we'll do is we'll quickly draw our stick man. As you can see, we've got some fantastic artwork going on here, which is brilliant. Now what you can see, what Flash does for us is it actually intersects these lines for us. So instead of having just 2 lines, we've now got 4 that will act independently. So this middle bit will act as a pivot point, which is great for us when we're animating the arm. So this is the start off position for the stick man. And what you want to do next is you want to click on the next frame and press F6. F6 is the shortcut for inserting a new keyframe on your timeline. There is another way of doing it. You can go to Insert, Timeline and Keyframe, but it's a really repetitive process. So what you'll want to do is learn the shortcut. So now that we've added in a new keyframe, you can see the stick man's highlighted. What I want to do is click off him, and then I'm going to hover the cursor just over the edge of the arm. You'll see there's like a little kind of rectangle symbol that appears, and that means we can grab the end of the arm and pivot it up. So we're going to do that, and what we have to do is in each keyframe, so we have new keyframe F6, move the arm, we have new keyframe F6, and then we move the arm, and what's happening there is we're moving the arm up. It's a very repetitive process and a very boring process, but it's the one that gives you the most control over your animation. It's very similar. Well, it's a very old process, and it's the process that you know, a lot of stop motion and claymation uses. Obviously in a different format, they use cameras, but it's the same principle as that you move the object that you're trying to animate in a very small way, and then all of a sudden when you add a lot of those images together in a sequence, you get the illusion of movement. So I'll keep adding in a couple more. Okay, and we'll do one more for luck. Get back to the starting position, and then we're going to test the move by pressing Control and Enter, and there we go. We've got I suppose he's sort of waving there. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about, but it's the principles are the same from what's going on this screen to some of the amazing animations that you may have seen online. It's that you know, every single frame that's being used, something has changed slightly, and that gives, when all put together and played quickly, gives you this kind of persistence of vision and illusion of movement. And it's exactly the same principles as if you've ever been bored at school, which most people probably have, is when you start drawing little images in the bottom of your notebook, and then changing it slightly and then making a flipbook animation. Exactly the same principle here, it's just we're doing it digitally. So if that's the first animation you've done in Flash, well done, and that's keyframes in a nutshell. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to learn, or if there's something you'd like me to kind of recap on. But if that's what you've done, well done. Cheers.
watch telly.